Hello, hello. Just wait to see if anybody comes. If you're there, type in the old live chat so I can see who's there. I'm just going to check to see. Oh, and there's the dog. Nope. Well, anyway, I am going to crack on, as they say. So welcome to Tinker Tuesday today, and my name is Katie. I hope you are doing okay and everything is all good. Just want to say welcome. Today we are going to be doing I'm going to be showing you some jelly prints. Now, jelly printing is basically something that you would use kind of, well, I'll show you here. This is a jelly press. And this is the smaller one that I'm going to be using later on in the video. I have an A4 size and this size, and essentially it is literally just a piece of jelly, really. I mean, it's just like a printing gel. As you can see here, it's quite thick and it's very squishy. So this is what is going to help you do your printing. Now, I don't know if I can't see anybody in the chat, so if anybody wants to say anything in the chat, let's have a look. I don't know. Have I got this all right? I think I have. I say I have. It says I'm live. So if you just want to say something, let's have a look, see if anybody responds. Oh, I've got such an itchy nose now. Right, anyway, so basically that is what we are going to be doing. We're going to be printing onto like the jelly plate. Now, basically what we're going to be using is we are going to be using acrylics and inks as well. So basically like your stamping inks and things like that. So as I say, it's a very squishy surface, and that's what's going to help you pull off your prints in the long term. Now, after this video has gone up, I don't know, it might actually be in the description already. I've put links to either the, I think did I put in for this particular one? These are all bought by me anyway, so I'm not sponsored or anything. And there's also a link to a Pinterest link for if you want to make your own, because you can actually make your own jelly prints with gelatin and glycerin and water. I think it's something like that, but the whole recipe is down below. I have tried it before and it does work. It's just you have to keep kind of remaking it after a while. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just face you downwards, and I'm going to show you some of the, in fact I won't, I'll just show you up here and then I'll pop you down when we start printing. So I have done two sets of prints. So I've done prints with acrylic paints, and I've also done prints with stamping inks. And for example, the stamping inks that I've been using are Distress inks or Memento, like a water-based ink, or you can get these inks from Hobbycraft here in the UK. I'm sure you can get them from Michael's and all that kind of thing over in America. So they're all of the kind of different things that I will be using for my printing. As far as the paints are concerned, they are literally, you do not need to go out and buy, you know, special paints or anything like that. They're just literally acrylic paints. So if you've got acrylic paints, these are just all the kind of colors that I use. You can, you know, use all of these type of acrylic paints. So I'll show you some of the prints that I've created. These ones are on my A4 size sheet. So as you can see here, we've got this lovely kind of print here. These are really good for if you want a background for something, or we can build. So as you can see here, we've got quite a lot going on. We've got a little bit of texture going on here. I mean, the texture, actually this bit of texture here is actually because of my plate itself. I need to get a new one basically. So so this one is one of those prints there, so I'll show you that one. And then we've got some other prints. I'm just trying to go through. Let's have a look. So we've got these prints here. These are all done with acrylic paint, remember. So we've got this print here as well. We've been using some more texture, so we've got different colors going on here. This was, I was actually cleaning up my jelly plate, and you'll be able to see later on. This is me clearing up the jelly plate like so. And then what else have we got here? Let's have a look. This was my very first one that I did the other day. So this is literally just one print, just putting paint on. I didn't put a lot of paint on, that's why you're getting a lot of the ghosting, but this is kind of what you can build up on. So then you can then go on to make things like so. So we've got something like this. This is using a stencil as well that I cut out today on my machine. Here we've got some more layering going. So I don't know if you'll be able to see because it's a metallic paint. There you go. You can see I've got quite a bit of layering going on. So you can build up on your prints. And then this is the aftermath of the print, as you can see here. So you can really do some really cool effects with these. And you know what you do with them afterwards, you can make cards, you can do it, use mixed media. If you do an art journal, you can pop them in your art journal. Here is some more. And then I'll just show you a few more, and then we can go on to the inks. So we've got this one that I did earlier on today as well. So this is just with metallic, with a metallic paint. And then this, when I'm actually pulling my prints from the jelly plate, I use a brayer, and I'll explain all of that in a second. And this is the waste paper basically from my brayer, and I love all of these different kind of colors. You can build up some really cool paint effects with these. So even if you do create jewelry or something like that, you can actually use these, you know, and layer them up onto either with your resin or something like that, and I think that that would create a really good look. Now these ones are done with my water-based inks, and I'll show you some of these, and then I'm going to do a print with or some prints with some acrylic, and I'm going to do some prints with the ink. So here we have the ink. Now these are all completely different colors. As you can see, it kind of gives it a little bit more of an opaque finish there. So we've got, you know, some more layers here. We've got some masking, and we've got all sorts of different colors just on here. Again, this was just layering up, and I literally didn't brayer anything. I just popped the ink on. And then here we've got this one here. As you can see, we've got stamping in here as well. So then you're building up layers and layers and layers on the paper, and the paper is just copy paper. It's just normal bog standard copy paper. Here we go. We've got this print here. We've got a lot of layers going on in here, and then these here, and that one. So it just goes to show that you can kind of produce quite a lot of, I mean, that's a lot of prints that I've pulled off there. And these I'm going to use in either my journals. You can make tags out of them. There's all sorts of things you can do with these. And also I'll show you in a second, I've did these ones here as well on the card. These will be the smaller ones that we're doing. So we've got a little bit of a cityscape going on, and again another cityscape there. And then we've just got some, I think this one was done with paint actually. I did this one with acrylic paint. So I'll just pop those to one side, and then I can show you kind of what type of things stamped on them. And I've used the I've used some die cuts. I've used one of the hearts, if you remember from last week. that we did the can, so that's literally the canned heart with the alcohol inks. So that is kind of one thing that you could do. So you can make up a Christmas card or something like that. I did some jelly plate printing onto some book page, and then I've literally just created this little bit of you could do this onto canvas, make it into a card, something like that. You could even kind of make a little story with the words if you wanted to. So something like that. Or, you know, if somebody's just moving into a house, new house, you could do something along those lines. So that's kind of what I've been doing. And I've also been creating with some of the prints that I have done. I've scanned them and uploaded them into one of my digital designing suites that I have on my computer. And as you know, some of you may know, some of you may not, I love making journals, and I'm creating kind of digital kits with those as well. So eventually they'll be coming out a little bit later on. So, you know, this is hi Steph, how are you doing? So, you know, these are kind of things that you can do with them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop waffling and we are going to get on. So I shall lower you down, and then you'll be able to, I'll be able to go through and do a little bit of playing. So I'm just going to bring you down to about there, I think. Yep, maybe a bit further in. Let's have a look. If we go a little bit further in, there we are. Now then, here is my A4 plate. It's just my jelly plate, so I'm just going to take it out of the packet and pop it down there. So this is the A4 jelly plate, and what I'm going to do is I am just going to, this is what we're going to be putting our paint onto. Now I said about a brayer earlier on. This is the brayer, and it's literally just a roller, and we are going to put our paint on and then roller this on. Now I always keep beside me a spare piece of card or paper. As you can see, I've used that already, and this is literally just to clean my brayer off once I have once I've finished with that particular paint, or I want to clean off my brayer. So let's just go in. We're just going to go in, and I'm going to use some paint here, and we're just going to go in with a little bit of yellow, and we'll go in with a little bit of, I'm hoping you can see this, a little bit of red, like so. Let's see, I'm hoping you can see that. And then what I'm going to do with the brayer is I'm literally just going to spread the paint over the jelly plate, like so. So I'm going to just do that with the red, and as you can see, we're just trying to get a nice even coating across the whole plate. Now obviously the plate is quite because it's a rubber or a jelly plate, it's quite smooth, so you just have to be careful. If you want to keep it quite smooth, then you can do. So now I'm just going to take off my excess off of my brayer. It doesn't have to be completely clean, and then we're going to pop in onto this side with the yellow. We're just brayering back and forward, like so. So it's literally like you're spreading butter over your toast. Then I'm just going to bring this into the center, so we're creating an ombre effect. So as you can see here, we've got this lovely ombre effect going on. So let's take our first print, and as I say, this is just bog standard copy paper, and we're literally just going to pop that straight on, smooth it out like so. So just smooth that out. There we go. And then I'm just going to lift that, and you'll be able to see the first print, and that is the first print that we've got there. Okay, so that is what we've got, is our first print there. So just move that to one side, and we'll let that dry off. Now as you can see, that's taken off quite a bit of paint. I'm not really too worried about the outside, so this time we can go in with a little bit of green, and I'm going to just dot the green just about. We'll go in with a little bit of blue. I think this one's called ultramarine. bit of blue. And I'm going to actually go in with a bit of yellow as well, I think. Maybe I should have done a bit of red, but that'd be fine. Right, so just a tiny bit of each. So now what I'm going to do, make sure that's clean. And I'm just going to go about. Now you see that's a completely different effect to what we had earlier on with just the 2 different colours. Now we've got 3 different colours in play. So just going to up and down, up and down. You don't have to spread it across your whole sheet, but it just for today and just for now, this is what we're going to do. So now I'm just going to pop that on, and then you'll be able to see how different this really is. So now hi Laura, we are jelly printing today, Laura. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm just going to lift this up and you'll see the effect. It's kind of like tie-dye but with paint. Now then, lift that right up, and as you can see there, we've got ourselves a nice little kind of scape there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that dry as well. Got a bit of paint there, big blob of paint. Now I've literally, to clean this off, I'm just going to use a wet cloth. You can use baby wipes if you want to. You don't even have to clean it off. It's just, you know, I like to give the impression that I'm neat and tidy, but you know, some of us, like my niece who's in the room at the moment, would know that I'm not actually the tidiest of people, but never mind. That's fine. That is fine. Right then, so now we've cleared that off, I am now going to show you how we can create some texture. So hopefully this first print is near enough dry. What we're going to do is I'm going to go in with some blue, I think, because we've got that nice yellow effect. So I'm just literally going to pop some blue on there. I might even put a bit of white just to lighten it up a little bit, so we can create a nice little light blue. So here we go. Let's just see if we can mix that up together. There we go. So I'm not going to do the whole of the jelly plate. So now we want to create a little bit of texture. So I'm going to do it with a toilet roll. Now then, all we're going to do, well, a toilet roll holder, is just create a few, there we go, and there and there. So I'm just going to create a few little round circles on there, and then I'm just going to pop back in with our very first print, and I'm going to lay that on top. Oh, hello everyone. That's just, oh right, is it not working on Facebook? Ah, that's a bit weird. I shall have to have a look and sort that out. So if I'm just lifting that up now, you'll be able to see that even just with a little bit of the end of the toilet roll, you can see now that we've got these lovely little circles. So we're now starting to build up and make some layers. So we can let that just dry off a little bit now, and then go back to our second print that we did. So they're like the greens, the blues and the yellows. So I might add a little bit of this kind of metallic colour, and this is like a copper colour. So again, I'm just going to pop that in like so, and then this time I've actually got I've had this for years, and I don't know why I bought it, but I bought it when I went to the NEC once, and it is gone. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Now then, it's another roller, but this has got texture on it. Now, if you wanted to create something like this, you could do Just quite easy. You could actually use a hot glue gun and create a pattern on here if you wanted to. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to run that down on one side and then run that down on the other side there. I'm just going to clean that off, and then I'm going to pop on with some bubble wrap, and we're just going to place the bubble wrap just along here, and then I'll just lift that, and then you can see we're kind of creating a little bit more texture. So this is the second print that we did. I am now going to rest that over the top there, and then just gently rub on the top of my jelly plate like so, and then we'll pull this back, and there you see now we've got the different textures as well coming through on our jelly plate. So I just pop that one to one side. So now we can go back to our second one. So we're just always creating layers and layers and layers. So the next thing we're going to do is, what colour have we got here? I'm actually going to go with a bit of green, I think. I'm going to go with green. So if I just get a little bit of green, I'm just going to have a look to see what's occurring on Facebook in a second. So I'm just going to pop a bit of green on, and then run the green through just nice and lightly. Now then, I have got a stencil here, just a normal stencil, and I think I'm going to firstly get rid of that hair, and I'm going to pop that on the edge there. So then when we pop on with our other print, I'm just going to do that. Okay. Like so. And then as we lift that, I just pop that onto there. You kind of want to be a little bit more forceful onto this side. There we go. And then we can lift that like so. Oh, I don't think I put enough paint down. But you can kind of see a little bit just on there. We'll just lift that up, and then we can pop over. So essentially this is a rather big stamping block. So there we go, we've got now a little bit more texture going on. So I'm going to try and do a little bit more with that. I'll leave that to the side, and we'll do a little bit of black. So let's do it with some black acrylic paint. There we go. I'm just going to do that with a little bit of black acrylic paint. So now I can pop that back down like so, and then I'm just going to pop in into the corner here, and we can rub and push that down into the paint and pull that up. It looks like Facebook's playing up a little bit by the look of it, so I just hope everyone can get here. So as you can see here, we've got that section there, and if I just lift that off, you've now got a lovely little bit of texture going on here. So I'm just going to now pop that in the corner, give that a little bit of a rub there, and we can pull that up. And as you can see now, we're starting to build more and more texture. I'll pop that down there, and I'm actually just going to pop this over there, and we can now get that. So that is how you can do it with the acrylic paints, which I really love. And I love the fact that you can just build and build and build and create some really, really nice textures and looks with this. So there's all sorts of things that you can do. Again, I'm just going to get a clean sheet and we'll just give this a little bit of a clean up, and we can start to there we go, just pull that back through. Right, it's a bit difficult when there's only one. Let's have a look, go to my page and I'll have a look and see if I can find what's going on. So on here I am going to just do one colour, and I think we'll do red. Okay, so I think we'll just do red. See, I didn't clean off my brayer as much, but I actually love that. That looks amazing. I really do like that. So we've got that, and now I'm going to go in with a embossing folder. So we've got these embossing folders that you can use in your die cutting machines and things like that. So I'm just trying to see in here. It's happening now. I don't know, because there is a link in there. Hopefully everybody will be able to see. Okay then, so the jelly plate, it's literally made, it's not, as far as I'm aware, it's not actually made of any animal products. It is literally just like a I don't even know if it says what it is on there. It's just a gel. It's basically a hardened gel. Let's have a look and see. It's non-toxic, it's latex free as well. It doesn't contain any animal products. So it's basically just a gel, just some form of gel, probably like an acrylic-y style gel. Who asked that question? That was oh, I can't see, it's gone now. But yeah, so it's just literally a gel. So hopefully that hasn't dried while I've been, might just pop a little bit more of that on. Okay, so like I say, you don't really need that much, you know, you don't need much special equipment really, to be honest. It's just the jelly plate, but as I say, you can make one yourself if you wanted to. I'm just gonna place that on, lift that off, and as you can see, we're getting a really nice effect like so. So I'm just going to pop that to one side, and then with our first run there, I'm just going to pop that on again, and then that's very strange. Yes, Laura, if you could post the link, that would be amazing. Thank you. And we're just pulling this off here, like so. And then as you can see here, we've got some of that texture from the embossing plate. So that is actually, I'm quite happy with that, and I would leave that the way that is for the acrylic. So now let's move on to, we'll let those dry, and let's move on to the gel, the inks. So I'm just going to give that clean off and then pop that back into its packet. Right then, so I'm going to use a smaller one this time for this, so it should be a little bit easier for you to see. And this one is a 3x5 a 3" by 5" plate. Yeah, that's the right side. Pop that there. So let's get rid of these paints for now. And then, see, I do not know what is happening. I don't really want to, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. It was all okay when I checked it earlier on. So maybe I shall have to have a look at that later on. But it'll be in my, so it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to miss anything because it will be on my Facebook page, not Facebook page, on my YouTube channel anyway. So, as I say, I am going to be using ink pads now. So, I showed you some of the ink pads that we had. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Everyone who's sharing the links, thank you. Right, okay, so I'm just going to be using some ink pads. So let's just go for this. Let's just do some inking, and I'm going to use a little bit of peacock feathers. Now with this one you don't need to use your brayer if you don't want to, and I'm probably not going to. I'm going to pop a bit of, this is rusty hinge. Little bit of rusty hinge in there, so we've got one in each corner. And then I'm going to pop in with some worn lipstick. These are Tim Holtz inks. And then I'm going to pop in with a little bit of this. Has it got a colour? It's from Hobbycraft. Doesn't say, so we'll just call it yellow. Just a nice yellow. So we're going to take a print of that, and then this I'm just using some card. So let's get some clean card, Katie, that would be better, wouldn't it? So I'm just going to use some card, and I'm just trying, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on, and then you'll probably see the difference. Obviously with the paints you're going to have a lot more of a more, I can't think of the word, not translucent, what's the opposite to translucent? Opaque. You're going to have more of an opaque look, because these are inks. I mean, they're quite strong inks, but as you can see there, we've now got a lovely kind of print going on there. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to pop on with some, with a stamp. So this is just a regular stamp, just a polymer stamp. I actually don't think I've used this one yet. And I'm going to pop on with a little bit of black. So I'm going to literally pop this on. I'm doing a reverse kind of look with this. Oops. And then we're going to pop our stamp on. So this is going to create a little bit of a reverse stamp. So just pop that down. You don't want to move it around too much. There we go. And lift that off. Now whether or not you will be able to see that, I don't know. You'll be able to see where the stamp has been. Now I'm just going to pop back on with my card. The beauty of doing it this way is the fact that you don't have to wait for your paint to dry, because they are just an ink. So this is the best way of kind of doing this. And then pull that back up again, and you can see there now we've got a fantastic kind of reverse. But if you didn't want all the black, this is another way of doing it. So again, we'll pop back on with some of our inks. So a bit of yellow. Let's do a little bit of magenta. Oh, that's a nice big bright magenta. And we'll do the peacock feathers again. And I'm going to do that on either side there. Again, if you wanted to, you can brayer that all together, or because they are a water activated ink, you could even just spritz the tiniest bit of water, and as you can see there, it just starts to pool up a little bit, and then we can pop that down and then move this about onto the card, and then we can lift that up, and you'll be able to see, as you can see where we've put the water, it just adds a nice little bit of texture. And I'll just do, I think I'm going to do a little bit more. I think just do something like that in the centre. In fact, just do a little bit like that. And get a new one. And then, as you can see here, I've still got this kind of inked up. I'm going to now pop in with this and do a little bit of inking on the actual stamp itself. And then we can pop that on. Oops. Lift that off, and we can pop that on like so. So as you can see, we can create some really nice textures. So let's do some masking. So there we go, we've got something that looks like that. So we've got different ways of stamping. So let's build up some more layers with this one. So I shall just give that a little bit of a wipe. We shall wipe this off. Now what I'm going to do is, this is, if you live in America, is drywall tape. Well, I think even if you live here, but this, you can get this in abundance over in America in all sorts of hardware stores. I actually got this when I lived in Yorkshire, so I don't know. I got it from a builder's merchant, and they thought it was very strange I went in to ask for some drywall tape, but I did. So this is what we've got here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some orange, a little bit of rusty hinge. So pop that into the centre of my jelly plate, and then I'm going to lay that on the top. So this is going to create a mask. So we're now just going to pop that on and rub that. Like so. But that's the thing, you see. Your bank manager doesn't need to be not pleased with you, because you can use stuff from around the house. Trust me, it's just the plates that you need to get. And here we go. This is I mean, that is literally just that tiny little bit of drywall tape that I will use again and again. And I'll show you, I've had this since 2010 maybe. So I've had it for a long time, so there's a lot there. So you can do something like that. So that's with our tape. Now then, do you remember our good old friend Bubble Wrap? Let's bring him back again. So as you can see, we've still got a little bit of texture going on. I'm going to do a little bit around the edge of yellow. And then I'm actually going to use my Bubble Wrap, and I'm going to pop a little bit of black. And you can go in and just go pop like that, and pop like that. So I'm going to pop the lid on there. And again, go back in with our piece of card and just, there we go, just rub that in like so. And this is the best bit, because you don't know how it's going to actually turn out. And this is why I really love this, because you've got an idea, but you know, you've just got to keep going and experiment all the time. So here we go. We've got something like this now. So I do have, I mean, this is just like something I would do like a little card with, and if you were going to do some mixed media, you could put like this little fairy on there. You know, you can make a little card. You can pop this on. So it's absolutely amazing. I love doing this. So let's see, what else can we do? What else can we do? Right, book page. Let's get some book page. All right, so we've got an old book here, and I'm just going to take that. I use these in my junk journals. So I'm going to just cut that in half. So then we can get a couple of prints out of that. Right, so let's go in with a little bit of red in the corner there, and a little bit of yellow there. I'll go in with some, what have we got here? What colours have we got here? I think there's a green. Ah, here we go. We've got peeled paint. Pop that on there and pop that on there. Go in with our toilet roll holder again. Just do a couple of, you might not see this actually because we're doing it on book page, but never mind. And then pop that on. Now obviously if you are using book page, you need to make sure that the book page is not too delicate. Obviously if it's a very old book, you're not going to be able to use it this way. So as you can see here, we've got something that looks like that. You can make a bookmark with these. Absolutely fantastic. So pop that just over there. Let's grab another one. Now let's do some more stamping. I'm going to stamp with this one. And these stamps are from the Textures Artist Collection, and I think these were a mixed media collection from Sheena Douglas. Just take a sip of water. From Sheena Douglas, and she did all sorts of like mixed media style. So I'm actually not going to put any, see that there? Because we've got a water kind of based ink, I'm just going to use this. This is just a rubber kind of paintbrush type thing, and I'm just going to do this all over, and it's just going to create pools of different colours. So I can pop that over there, and you'll see it all seep together. Okay, and then lift that off, and you can see you've got even a completely different effect then. So you've kind of got, if you haven't got alcohol inks, this is a good way of kind of working with alcohol inks. Now I think you can use alcohol inks on here, but I haven't actually experimented with that yet. But I'm pretty sure that you can. So now we've got that. And what I'm going to do next is use a mask, I think. Let's do a mask again, because I do like the masks. We can pop in some of the green. So let's go with a bit of blue. This is called Weathered Wood. I think that might have dried up because I haven't used that one in a long time. Oh no, I've got a little bit there, but we'll see what happens with that. Little bit of peacock and rusty hinge. Okay, so got that. Now then, I've got some masks in here. Try this one. This one I freshly cut today as well, so I'm just gonna lay that onto there and then pop on my piece of card. go. Could I use cotton thread? Yes, you could. You could definitely use cotton thread. Anything that you can put within the jelly plate. And oh my goodness me, oh my goodness, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. How cool is that? That is so cool. Oh, I love that. And I cut this mask out on my Cameo machine. I love that. That is superb. I love that. Oh, hi Gemma. Hi, hello. So I don't know why there's been some trouble about, I'll have to have a look when I get off on Facebook and things like that. It's probably me. It's probably user error. It's probably me. But yeah, no, I love that. Oh, right then, I'm going to take this off. And then I'm going to use the one that we did like the watercolory style. And I'm going to pop that back on top. Like that. And then lift that back up. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Right then, so for those of you that have just joined, I am just going to quickly run through what we've got. So a jelly plate is essentially what this is. Now I've got two different sizes. They do come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. You can make your own. I have popped a link in the description box of this video to links on Pinterest to make your own. And it's with like gelatin and glycerin, and you can create your own, and there's all the measurements and everything on there. I have done that in the past and it does work. It really does work. But for ease and storage and things like that, I got mine from Amazon. I think I've actually popped this one on this actual size on the link as well. I hope I have. If not, I will do that later. And this one was actually $8.99, or you can get a whole pack of 3 with different sizes in and different shapes, I think for $17.99. And then the other one I've got, which I do actually need to get a new one, this is literally a jelly plate, and it is just a gel. As we have discovered earlier, there's no latex in it, there's no animal products or anything like that in it, so it's fantastic to use. And the A4 ones are, you know, if you want to use a whole sheet, then you can do. And I'll just show you how we're getting on with our other prints that we've just done. So there's that print. I'll probably do a few more if you like. And then here is that print as well. So we did some layering. But this is with inks. We're doing this actually with stamping inks at the moment. They were done with acrylic paint because I wanted them to kind of dry. But oh, I am absolutely... So you've got... Because we put the mask on, look at me getting all excited. Because we put the mask on, you've got the relief on here as well. So we can now go back in and do something with this one. So I'm going to use, I've cut out these, just cut out some circles. And we can do something with the circles. Why not? Let's do something with the circles. So we want something that's not too dark. Did I use Rusty Hinge on that? I did. Worn lipstick, or actually I will go in with the yellow. I'm going to do the whole thing yellow, so I'm just going to put this on with the yellow, and then I'm going to add one of these up here, one of these just in there, and then we'll have one like so. Then I'm just going to pop that over the top. And then we can just push that in, and then we'll lift that. And then can you see there, we've just now layered up. And then once I lift these as well, sometimes you'll get the relief, but you can then use these on other projects as well. So we've got that. Oh, I'm loving this so much. Right then, so here we go, we've got the yellow. Now I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, I think. Yes. So I'm literally just going to stamp onto this instead of stamping onto the actual card itself. So I'm just using here just a Memento ink. And do I want to use this one, or do I want to use... This is the thing, this is what will take you the time, will be deciding what you want to use. Right, so I'm going to use that. So I'm just going to push that down into there, and then pop that just on here, and then lift that up, and as you can see there, we've got just a little bit of a print. And then I'm going to go in just up here and pull that from there. It just gives it that little bit of, you know, just, you can then build up. I mean, you know, I might not be happy with that, but it doesn't matter. We can always change it. Doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, what is it? It's a couple of bits of paper and some ink. If you don't like it, try it again. You know, it's no drama at all. So let's go back to our book page then that we've got here. I want to try that stencil again because I love that. Right then, so this is a stencil I cut. I don't know if you'll be able to see. This is the stencil that I cut out on my Cameo machine this morning. So I've done that one. Now this is actually a stencil that you can buy. You can tell obviously the grade of plastic is completely different. This is literally just acetate, whereas this is a proper stamping material, not stamping, stenciling material. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a clean, and then what have we got? So we've got yellow, green and red. So I'm going to go in with this. Let's see, I don't know if it's going to work because it might be too dark. Let's just go for it. Let's go all peacock. Pop that on like so. Just drop it on, get your paper, and now we're just gonna push like so, and then there we go, pull that up, and that's what you get. I really like that stencil. I think that is going to be my favourite stencil. I'm going to have to cut out a few of those. Shall we pop the resist on this one here? So can you see how we're just layering and layering and layering? So now we can pick that. There's no waste. There is no waste. So you can pick that up on there and then pull that from there. So now you've got something that looks like that. I absolutely love this. Next. What can we do next? How are we doing for time? Okay. What else can we use? I'm just saying, you just start then looking around for things to use, because you can use all sorts of things like the bubble wrap. So let's go with the bubble wrap again. And I've got some other bits. I'm just going to go with this colour because this is actually my favourite colour. And then we'll do a little bit of worn lipstick. And then, you see, you can even, if you've got like, I've just got like a bit of tape, do that. Or you could do that and pull it across. So it gives it a 3D effect. Let's see what that looks like. And we'll just take the print from there. And then we'll pull this off. Honestly, there you go. Look, you can use anything. You can use absolutely anything. This is, I just love doing this. You can do this with the paint as well. So if you wanted to do it with the paint, we could do that. I might actually just try that with the paint quickly before we, I don't know, if there's anything anybody wants to see, just pop it into the comments there and I can see if I can see if I can show you. So as I said about this earlier on, this is just like your rubber. I use this for glue because, to be honest, yeah, I'm going to be honest. Whenever I'm creating something and I've got the glue, the last thing I want to do is have water on the table, because I am a clumsy oaf and I will knock it over. I will knock it over. There's no if or buts. I will knock it over. So if I'm using glue and I need to spread it, this is fantastic because I could just leave it on the side, and once I've finished the project I could just peel the glue off because it's rubber. Yes, I know it's lazy, but it works for me. So I'm just going to put this away and we'll just do a little bit more painting for those that came a little bit later. So I shall just, I don't know, is that the right thing or have I, there we go. I'll just give that a little bit of a rub down. As I say, I've popped the link for these the jelly plates in the description box. You can use them for all sorts of things, and I absolutely love the effects that you get with them. When you store them, don't store them flat. Store them so they're upright, because you don't want, as you'll be able to see in a second, you don't want things digging into it, because as soon as it digs into it and it stays there for a while, it's going to leave an impression, which then goes out onto your paper. So let's do a larger one and we'll do a little bit more paint. I've got some more just for everybody else. You'll be able to probably be able to see it as well, that the right, let's go. Today I'm feeling a little bit metallic, so we'll just pop the metallic on, and we've got the brayer, so let's get braying. And we've got our little bit of paper on the side here, just so we're literally just using acrylic, just a normal acrylic paint, and we're just going to pop that on like so. So we've still got some ink left on here. You can pop that onto there like so. Let's do the drywall section, and then let's do some bubble wrap. Okay, so you can create these, all of these fantastic textures and patterns with household items. You do not need to go out and buy these type of things. And just normal copier paper, and then we're just going to plop that on the top, and then we'll just give it a nice little rub. And let's pull this off. Hopefully, because it's been sat out, it's I really do need to get a new one of these, I think. So let's create some layers on here. So we've got our first layer. You'll see it in a second. I'm just trying to take this off. It's very hot in this room. Not ideal, but never mind. So there you go. You can see we've got our little bit of patterning from all of these sections here. So let's add something else. Do you know what? Let's mix up some of the paints and the inks. Why not? We're here. We're, you know, the last few minutes. Let's go for it. So I'm just going to pop in a little bit of ink to there. What colour paint? So we've got that colour paint there. Right. Let's bring in this here. So I'm just going to go like that. And we'll bring this in again. So just do some little bits there, and then I'm going to pop that. Pop that on the top there. So as I say, you don't have to do the whole of the paper. Lift that off. There you go. We've built some more of our layer. So let's do something else. Now then, I think my sister earlier on said she wanted a little bit of black. So am I going to do black? No. I'm going to do magenta. Let's do some magenta. bit of magenta, and I'm going to put down my favourite stencil of the night. And I'm going to add a little bit of water because I can. And then we can pop that just over the top. There we go. And then, as you can see here, you're now creating more and more layers. So I just pop that in the corner and then you can see. There you go, look. I do love that stencil. I am going to have to make some more of those. And then we'll pop a little bit of that just on there. So as you can see, we're now starting to build up more and more and more. So I've got this embossing folder here, and I think I am going to do, where is my black ink? I've put it all away. Oh, there it is, right. So I'm just going to pop some of this on here. Just rub it on. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, which is why I love this. It makes it available to everybody. Lift that. And as you can see, it just leaves the impression on there. And then I'm going to pop that a little bit on there. Lift that off. A little bit on there. And then lift that off. And as you can see now, you can just start building and building and building. So that is essentially what we can do with our jelly plates. So you can literally run until your imagination overfloweth. What have we got on here? So there's all sorts of things that we can do, and I could be here all night, but yeah. So is there anything else anybody would like to see? Would you like to see any more of the paint, or would you like to see any more of the inking, or would you like to see the other examples again? I mean, this is what we've done literally within the hour. This is a mixture of everything. These were all of the paints. I was just kind of loading everything up. Now these you could kind of cut down and turn into inchies, and when I say inchies, I mean kind of, you could, I've done it with book page, and you could then just have them onto book page, something like that. Again, like the cards that I showed earlier on. So if you wanted to do your cards, you can create backgrounds for your cards. Here's some more that we did earlier. And that's just another stencil. So you could do something like the like this type of thing. So it's just a real great way of creating backgrounds and texture. So if you had, before we go anyway, if you have like something like these are like a laser cut MDF, I think they are, and you could then create pendants, earrings, you know, anything. You know, I just absolutely love making things with these. So you could pop these onto earrings, pendants, all sorts of things. So yeah, that's that. If you wanted to kind of use and wear your art, which is a fantastic way of showcasing these type of things. Or as I said earlier on, the triptychs, if you wanted to do something like that for Christmas, these are perfect. You know, so, and yeah, I did just say the Christmas word, sorry. So that's that. And I think that's really everything, unless anybody else wants to see any more. Well, thank you. Oh, dearie me. We all need this in our life. It is fantastic because you can use if you go out for a walk, here we go. I meant to today, but I actually went out for a run instead. If you go out for a walk, you can pick up leaves, you can pick up flowers and things like that. So in the autumn time when there's loads of leaves, you can use that, and actually the veins and everything of the leaves, you know, you can see those on the actual thing. Gemma, I think you can, I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can use alcohol inks on the jelly plate. If you Google it and have a look, or on YouTube, I'm sure that there is that there are tutorials about alcohol inks on there. But again, wrapping paper, if you wanted to just create some wrapping paper or something like that, you know, these are just great ways of, again, you can get lost, you really can get lost. So I mean, as in get mindfully lost in this. So there's all sorts of things. You don't need any of the stencils or anything like that. Create your own, you know, use paper, cut up some paper and create clouds and things. There's all sorts of things that you can do with this. So if nobody else wants to see anything, that was my Tinker Tuesday, and we did a little bit of jelly printing. As I say, these are some of the other ones that I've done earlier on that I showed everyone earlier. This is just with a cityscape. So basically what I did was, this is just an outcut from a die cut, and actually it was from I was doing a canvas or a picture board, and we were over at Gemma's Facebook group and Sue's Facebook group. It's Babble Dabble. I've popped the link in the description below. They meet every Monday for a dabble, and they meet on a Friday at the moment during lockdown for a babble. And we were doing Scrabble, so we were doing a Babble Dabble Scrabble, and this is what I created. And actually the background of this is the brayer that you use for doing the paint. So, and you don't even need the brayer for doing this either. You can use paint brushes, you could use a spatula, all kinds of things. So that's it, that's everything. Thank you so much. And if you do make any of these type of things, or if you want any more information, I am available on my Facebook page, which is Poppy K Crafts, or you can leave a comment down on the video here below. And that's it really. You will get messy, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's a lovely creative mess. Thank you so much everybody for joining me, and it has been amazing. Next week I've got a kind of mixed media jewelry sort of vibe going on, so if you want to pop on over and have a look, I think that's what we're doing. I don't know, just keep an eye out, and I shall let everybody know. And I'm going to try and get this link thing sorted out in Facebook as well. So actually I should pop you up here. Hello. Yeah, so thank you so much everyone for watching and commenting and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, and I will see you on Tinker Tuesday next week. You stay safe and stay creative. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.